A staircase in the middle of nowhere. Tent set up perfectly, with no one inside. A circle of stones that wasn't there yesterday. My supervisor's words were the same every time. Log it. Don't investigate. Don't come back. You can spend 20 years working for the Park Service and still see things that don't make sense, things that don't fit into any training manual. Tonight, you'll hear 5 true ranger reports of objects and structures found deep in the woods, things we documented but never explained. These aren't ghost stories. These are official incident logs written by people who were there. 5 discoveries. 5 places you can still find on a map. And 5 times we were told to file it and forget it. Case 1, the staircase. Location, White River National Forest, Colorado. Date, June 2014. Ranger, Lieutenant Tom Wilkins. Report code, 140-627A. It was a search for a missing hunter. 3-day operation. Grid sweep pattern, altitude 9, 200 feet. Thick spruce, poor visibility. At 11:43 a.m., Ranger Wilkins radioed in. Found something. Looks like a staircase. Over. The team assumed collapsed cabin remains. But when they reached his coordinates, there was no cabin, no debris. Just a staircase, freestanding, 12 steps, perfectly intact, clean wood, no moss or rot. No scorch marks. No tool cuts in surrounding soil. The strange part? The staircase wasn't sunk into the ground. It was resting on top of it. They checked for foundation bolts. None. No footprints leading to it or away. Wilkins took photos, marked GPS, and called it in. Base told him, log it. Don't climb it. Move on. The next morning, they went back to collect samples. The staircase was gone. No indentations. No disturbed soil. Just flattened grass. 2 weeks later, Wilkins filed an addendum. Wildlife cameras from nearby trailhead show object at 5:17, faint light source, then absence. Suggest electrical interference or mirage, but visual evidence inconsistent with either. In 2019, a new ranger on that same trail reported seeing a shape in the trees that looked like stairs. That location is now restricted due to erosion hazards. Case 2, the tent that wasn't occupied. Location, Glacier National Park, Montana. Date, September 2017. Ranger, Linda Chen. Report code, 170912B. A routine wildlife patrol. Linda Chen and her partner found a tent in a clearing. Modern, bright orange, completely intact. At first glance, it looked like a normal campsite. Camp stove, folded clothes, notebook on a log. But there were problems. No footprints around it. No cooking residue on the stove. No body heat on thermal scan. Inside, perfectly arranged sleeping bag, unzipped halfway. Beside it, a pair of boots, tied, but standing upright, empty. Linda opened the notebook. The first half was hiking logs, coordinates, dates, meal plans. The last entry read, "It's louder at night, but closer now." When they radioed base, command confirmed no permit issued for that location, and no missing person matched the gear. They packed out the items as evidence. 3 days later, the tent was back. Same clearing, same layout. Except this time, the notebook was blank. Park Service sent in a forensic team. No prints, no fibers. Tent fabric didn't match any registered manufacturer. The report ends with a line from Chen's supervisor. Cease site visits. Mark as environmental anomaly. Do not engage repeat manifestation. The area is still closed to campers due to unstable ground conditions. Case 3, the Circle of Stones. Location, Shenandoah National Park, Virginia. Date, April 2019. Ranger James Denton. Report code 190423D. Ranger Denton's team was conducting controlled burn prep. He marked a patch of forest that had been surveyed the week before, open ground, clear of debris. When they arrived that morning, the clearing had changed. In the center was a circle of stones, about 30 feet wide, each stone perfectly smooth, uniform height, spaced at even intervals. Denton radioed base. "Looks like a campsite or ceremonial ring. Any local permits?" Base replied, "Negative." They inspected the stones. No carvings, no soot. But each was warm to the touch, despite overnight temperatures in the 40s. They took temperature readings, 98 degrees Fahrenheit average. By sunset, the stones cooled to match ambient temperature. The next day, Denton returned with a geologist. The circle was gone. No stones, no drag marks, no indentations. Just disturbed leaves in a perfect ring shape, as if something had hovered there. Denton's supervisor closed the file with a note. "Pattern consistent with Report 071031, North Sector. Recommends site exclusion." In later briefings, circle formations were added to the internal list of non-investigable terrain events in IT-17. Case 4. The Mirror Tree. Location, Olympic National Park, Washington. Date, November 2020. Ranger Patricia Oakes. Report code 20-1108C. During storm damage assessment, Patricia spotted a fallen Douglas fir reflecting sunlight strangely. When she approached, she realized the bark had a mirror-like sheen, smooth as glass. It wasn't wet. It was reflective, as though the surface had turned metallic. Samples sent to lab came back inconclusive. High silica content, unknown bonding compound, no external coating. She logged the tree for pickup. But when the crew arrived the next morning, the log was gone. Drag marks leading uphill, against gravity. Trail cameras were checked. Between 2 o'clock and 2:11, the image feed distorted into static. When it returned, the clearing was empty. Later, hikers 5 miles north reported finding a silver tree upright, roots embedded in rock. Ranger Oakes drove out to verify. The tree was upright, bark still reflective, and her initials, which she'd carved for sample ID, were reversed. Back at HQ, her supervisor said, "We don't log reflections anymore." The incident was sealed under Geological Surface Anomalies, File Redwood/Variant. Case 5. The Ranger's Own Pack. Location, Great Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. Date, May 2022. Ranger, Alex Morgan. Report code, 220516E. On May 16th, Ranger Morgan was assisting a Boy Scout troop search for a lost compass. A short, uneventful day. Until Morgan found something in the brush, a ranger pack, identical to his own, same model, same patches, same wear marks. He radioed base. "Did anyone lose a field pack?" Base confirmed negative. He unzipped it. Inside were standard supplies: first aid kit, topo maps, flashlight, compass, notebook. The notebook was filled with his own handwriting. Same pen pressure, same shorthand codes. Entries dated the same week, but describing events that hadn't happened yet, including one for that afternoon. 10:42. Find the duplicate. Morgan looked at his watch. It was 10:42. He sealed the pack, tagged it, and hiked back immediately. When evidence techs opened it later that day, the notebook pages were blank. Supervisor's closing note: possible contamination of digital logs. Correlates to 190423 and 140627 patterns. Directive: If you find something that looks like it belongs to you, don't touch it. 5 objects, 5 parks, 5 reports that never reached the public, a staircase with no structure, a tent that resets itself, a circle of stones that radiates warmth, a tree that reflects light like glass, a ranger's gear duplicated in time. Different years, different rangers, but the same instruction every time. Log it. Don't investigate. Don't come back. Because the Park Service doesn't only track wildlife and hikers. It tracks phenomena, and some of them track back. So if you're hiking and stumble on something that shouldn't be there, a staircase, a perfect circle, a mirrored tree, don't go closer. Don't take a souvenir. And never touch something that already has your name on it. Because the rangers have learned the hard way. Some things in the woods don't want to be explained. They just want to be found.